Welcome back. If you're coming back and if you're new, welcome. Today's lesson, we're going to go through three kinematics problems here, and each one we're going to start from the very basic. This is part one. That's how we're going to start, and then increasingly it will be difficult by the time we hit the third question, and they're all coming from one question only, by the way. All right, here's an example. A cross-country runner runs 5 kilometers east along the course, then turns around and runs 5 kilometers west along the same path, and then he returns to the starting point in 1 hour. So basically goes around 5 kilometers, comes back, and then goes back to the starting point, and the total time is 1 hour. It says the first one is, what is his average speed? Now, average speed. So average speed, remember that a speed is a scalar. It is a scalar quantity in physics. That means no direction. All right. Now, what else do we have? We have running east. So let's suppose point A is the starting point, and the runner runs east 5 kilometers. And then once it hits the 5 kilometer mark, it's going to turn around. Let's call that point B. And then it's going to turn around and goes back to the starting. And that's another 5 kilometers, goes back. Okay, so the question is, and by the way, the total time, T total, is 1 hour, 60 minutes. Okay, and the question is, what is the average speed? Now remember, average speed is simply distance divided by time, and that's total distance. Okay, T distance, total distance. So the total distance in here, what do we have? Well, 5 kilometers plus 5 kilometers divided by 1 hour. And what we have is 10 kilometers per hour. That is the average speed. And the question is, you want to find it in meters per second. And to find that in meters per second, you have to do some dimensional analysis and change that and make sure that you review the dimensional analysis and unit conversion. And the answer will be 2.78 meters per second. This is the approximation. I stopped at 2 decimal places with 3 sig figs. Okay, that was just my choice. Just make sure that you do know that. So that is 3 sig figs. Significant figures is important. As a practice, I did that. But this is the top part right here is the dimensional analysis that I've done. So make sure you go ahead and pause that. Make sure you know how to do that. And if you don't, make sure you go back to the last lesson or one of the lessons before about unit conversion and dimensional analysis that is used for unit conversion. Okay, so this is the average speed. Now, average speed is a scalar. That means no direction. So it's just a quantity. 2.78 meters per second. That's the total distance, 10K, and the total number of, or total time that it took, it was 1 hour, and here it is. Now let's look at the second part of this question. What is his total displacement? Now remember that displacement is not the same as distance in physics. Okay, displacement depends on the direction of the movement. So you could have a negative displacement. So displacement is a vector quantity, not a scalar. That means it needs to have a direction and a magnitude. So now let's go back to the question again. We have, let me copy that. Okay, so here is the story. It starts here and goes to B, here it is, and then turns around and goes to A, and the displacement where you're starting, so A is a starting value, a starting position. This is also called the reference position. You must have a reference position. So A, if it's starting and it's gone for 5 kilometers to B and turns around and goes back to A, the total displacement of this, because of directionally is impacted, you have from A to B, I'm going to rewrite it down here, A to B, that was plus 5 kilometers. Okay, we assume that going towards the east is the positive value, okay, directionally. Then the next part from B to A, now it's going back, now directionally is negative 5 kilometers. Okay, because originally we assumed that going from A to B, that's positive, and going back is negative. And now when you put them all together, the total displacement, 5 kilometers plus negative 5 kilometers, that's 0 kilometers. So what is the total displacement? 0 kilometers. That's the total displacement. Now, based on that, now we can go ahead and look at part 3 of this question. So now we want to look at the average velocity. And again, average velocity, so V average is equal to, now this time the formula was displacement over time. Now this is just very easy. The average velocity, the total displacement we already calculated at the top was 0. So this is 0 kilometers on top. Total time, well, 1 hour. What was the average velocity in meters per second? Well, in this case is 0 kilometers per hour or 0 meters per second. Doesn't matter if you change the unit or not. And that's what it will be. Okay, so that is very important. The differential between the average velocity and then the average speed. Originally, when we were on top, we talked about average speed, and that's totally different in here. Okay, so be aware of it. So, and all of that comes to understanding the difference between displacement and distance. Okay, now let's look at second question, then I'll stop. Now this question is a little bit involved, but it's the idea of the graphic representation of the position time graph and what it represents. So I'm going to walk you through this question and then we do some review. All right, we have this diagram, this is a position time graph, and we want to find the velocity of the car for each part of the trip. And the way I have done it is that in each part, so we have 3 intervals, A, B, we have B, C, and we have C, D. So let's go through each of these intervals and talk about what they are. So first, the interval AB, what's happening? We have a position time graph, and remember, the slope of a position time graph is your average velocity. So remember, the slope of the position time graph is the average velocity. So in this case, we need to go ahead and find the slope of each of these line segments, each of these intervals, and that becomes our average velocity for that specific interval, whichever part that we are talking about. So let's look at AB. What is the slope? Well, a slope here is gone up to 20 and across 3 seconds. So the slope is rise over run, okay? Rise over run. So we're going up 20 divided by, and we have gone horizontally to B 3 seconds, 3. So remember, this is the meters, this is the seconds, and the slope is the ratio, and the ratio is your average velocity. And to round it, 6.67 meters per second. That's the velocity at AB. That's the average velocity. Very good. Now let's go to BC. What's happening to BC? What is the slope of that interval BC? Well, it's a horizontal line. What is the slope of horizontal line? Is 0. But let me show you why it is 0. Now, the distance is 20. Now, remember the displacement. Sorry, I've got to be careful here. Sometimes I say distance, but I do mean whenever we're talking about the velocity, just for the connotation, for consistency's sake, whenever I do make a mistake, when I'm dealing with the velocity and I say distance, I mean displacement. So sometimes I do that. My apologies. But okay, let's go ahead and look at this. So the displacement is 20. So delta D, the displacement, divided by delta T, that will give us, so the change in displacement divided by change in time, that will give us the slope. Well, the displacement from C to D, that's the same. So it's 20, negative 20, right? Remember, 20 is right here. C is got the coordinate 6, comma 20. B has got a coordinate 3, comma 20 in terms of coordinate points, right? For a position time graph. And what we have is 20 meters minus 20 meters on top divided by, and then 6 minus 3, that's your seconds, but it turns out to be 0 divided by 3, which end up being 0 meters per second. Okay, so, and that is why, that is the graphical representation of this slope being 0, which means the average velocity will, it is 0, because technically this person is not moving at all. Actually, that's what's happening. He drove, start moving from point at 0 second, and then moved to point B, position B, then took a rest for 3 seconds for whatever reason, maybe at the intersection, maybe at a stop sign, and had to wait for 3 seconds. Okay, and now let's deal with CD. We're going to deal with the same thing again. We're going to calculate the slope of CD, and then that becomes the average velocity for that one. So let's go ahead with CD and the slope, which will end up being, so you're coming down 10, so you're coming down 10 and over 4 units down. You're coming down from 20 to negative 20. That is 40. That's the distance you're dropping from C all the way down to the bottom, and then over 4. Okay, so let's go ahead and write it. Negative 20 meters, and then minus the initial displacement, which was 20 on top right here, right? So that was 20 right there. And then the bottom that it comes down at that point D ends up with minus 20 in terms of displacement. It's a position. Okay, so now minus 20, negative 20 meters divided by, and then the time goes from 6 to 10, so 10 seconds minus 6 seconds, and now you do the math. Here what we have negative 40 meters divided by 4, and that would be negative 10 meters. By the way, this is seconds, meters per second. So that would be negative 10 meters per second. This is your V average, which is the slope of the position time graph. Okay, so this is the V average. So the velocity for the part of the trip CD turns out to be negative 10 meters per second, and it is in a scalar and it's negative. Why is it negative? Because the direction has changed. All right, that's what it means. It's just displacement has changed, therefore the direction has changed, and it's negative 10 meters per second. That's what it means. It just got to do with the direction. All right, make sure you go and check out the quiz at the end of this lesson. I posted either in the pinned comment or in the description below. All right, until next time, check out the next video in the series.